Supreme Rising. Supreme motherfucking rise. You already know the vibes. NAGA The Wise. And you see the title. Today's frequency and a breakdown. So I probably been supposed to be doing that a minute ago or whatever, but I wasn't. What am I talking about? Giving y'all what the frequency of the start and day is because I can see that. I know what it is. I just don't pay attention to it. I know how to see it. I just don't pay attention to it because I be so wrapped into just giving divine attention in my own way. So particularly today's frequency is the chakra color green, which is the heart. And I'm not going to get into how I can see that from the universe. Like, I'm not going to, that's a long conversation. But today's frequency is heart, and it's the pure heart. It's like not the evergreen, because you have three versions of green. You have the darker green, and then you have that evergreen, and then you have the lime color or closer to a lime green. These are circumventing around the heart as stages. So either way direction you go today, it doesn't mean heart doesn't mean having universal heart. It's not oh lovey-dovey, right? Universal heart is truth, justice, righteousness, purity, an innocent standing. It's like you're standing in truth. And that's what pure heart is. It's like you're not, it's not a disrespectful thing, and it's not a type of emotion thing. True heart is just you standing in that place of what you are, not being moved from that spot. Like it's hard to, the true heart, the universal heart, which is equal for everybody, right? So look at that as the representation of how light is pulled in from trees and how they give off this beautiful green. That stability of green around everywhere is literally the heart pulse or the pumping of the energy being transmuted into the earth. So that's how you know how the character is to be. Everything that's green and loving of that, I can't say loving because it's not the same thing. Everything that's green is the representation of the universal love. There we go. Everything that's green is the representation of universal love that comes down and transmuted into the color green because it sustains life. So today, green should be how you sustain your life today. And that is a form of love, but it's nurturing, right? Because the universe gives that light and it transmutes it into green. So that green is heart, which would be being nurtured. That would be being nurtured, right? By the universe, because it's coming from the universe to you and you put out green. But when I saw it and I looked up, I saw green. So that's being diligent in that energy today. What is that going to look like for you to be diligent within heart, within nurturing? Are you a nurturer? Are you like, what does that mean for you individually around the world? That's today's lesson for everybody. And I'm going to start doing these every day because I know I can see them and I don't normally just go get it like and be like, hey, today's frequency is this. And I should have been doing that a minute ago because I do have the attribute to see it from the universe. I apologize. But today Divine was like, go do that. And I was like, word, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I did. Oh, Supreme Rising. What's up? What's up? What's up? Supreme Rising. You already know the vibes. And so let's tap into that a little bit, right? Let's go into that a breakdown of that notion. Now, we always talk about the, and I like to call it more of a acronym than an actual word because of its representation, right? Love, LOV. It's not, that's, humans love to simplify shit in every single way, shape, and form. We like shit conveniently placed. So love itself has never been a singled out circumstance. It's never been that universally, and it's incomplete within its standing with us as humans. It's incomplete. But we have carried it incompletely for a long time. And that incomplete way of carrying it is not represented by the way or where it comes from correctly. And that's where we are all completely failing at. None of you out here are living in universal love, right? And universal love itself has been transmuted to serve a purpose based off literature. Literal speaking, the word itself, the play of the words. Unconditional is also a play on words. A child has to have conditions because it can't do things as people that are bigger than them. So even within conditions, it's a frame of love. Based off the standpoint of an individual, there are conditions that may procure the love for a particular circumstance, i.e. a baby. There are conditions for that baby, but those conditions are based off how I love you. You see, this is contrast. Unbeknownst to people, selfishness is more of a pragmatic understanding for people when it comes to being an adult. That selfishness transitions over to what reciprocity hasn't done, and slight that to the truth of indifference. Most people never had that representation from a starting point. Meaning, most of your parents are fucked up, just like you are today. Your parents were probably as fucked up as you are today, and their parents were probably as fucked up as they were at that time in a different time setting previously before their growth, and so forth and on and so forth and on. This is why they've came up with terms like karmatic curse breaking. This is why they use it a lot today, because it sounds more logical. Not just sounding more logical, the placement of its creation and its energetic off-put is telling that in the same direction. So we have to understand that these are particulars. You can't run through life oblivious. And if you constantly keep being oblivious, you're constantly going to suffer your own choices. This is the life that we live every day. Unfortunately, people don't like to miss out on things, and the negative polarity of life itself has its own auditorium, classroom, gymnasium, popularity group, avenue, street, city, whatever have you. Like, that side has its own too. So what happens is, when people lack that value of contingency to grow up correctly, it's not to say that, hey, you will never be loved because your people will be worth the shit. You're never going to be loved correctly. That's not what that's saying. What that's saying is, because you were damaged that way, it's going to be harder for you to accept it. In your face a lot, but because you don't have that as familiarity, you're going to bypass it more than limited, like, or more than the limit amount of times that a person would bypass it. You're going to do it like a lot, like a whole bunch. And you're going to cry about it too. And you're going to be real upset, because the process of what got you stuck there is your karmatic curse breaking. So this is why the energy today is of nurturing, because a lot of you need to nurture the pains that you deal with that won't let you be conducive for society for real, for real. A lot of y'all be lying to people. A lot of y'all be showing up in some manipulative energy. A lot of y'all put on smiles and really don't be meaning that smile, you know, behind the walls. A lot of people team up with other individuals and play oblivious. This whole negative output of how the world is just running in its own direction to try to procure something that they think is based off Marvel, X-Men, TV, supernatural bullshit that people be talking about. They don't have a true knowing on how universal energy works. Only thing they have is the subsequent value of people attempting to take divine's energy and what that representation looked like over a long period of time, and classified to titles, names, groups, and situations is what all y'all represent. That's what y'all represent. The shit that they told y'all this was from the past, that's what y'all follow. Y'all followers. You're not running behind divine. You're running behind the mishaps of insignificance. So despite that to be the truth, and reality that we live every day. The fact of the notion that most people are procured in life based off falsities. These falsities is you can be a fucked up person inside and have everything in the world. You can play as if you're giving, but in your heart, there's no true love to give. So you're giving out of choice or out of procurity to make yourself look a certain way, not out of genuinality. So that energy that comes following behind what you do feels nasty. It feels like, nah, something's under there. It's something, it feels like, yo, something ain't right. Like something doesn't seem completely correct about it until you start seeing the indifferences that come with the individual and the way they carry themselves. A lot of people don't know what to do with certain situations because they never had it in abundance. They never been or had an integrity base or completed that situation behind closed doors by themselves. They don't know what that feels like. So when it's time to show up and do the right thing, they don't know what the fuck to do. They don't. And a lot of people sit around conversations and y'all interact with each other like this shit is fucking cool. No, you're multiplying stupidity. This is why Divine says, come to me first for guidance within everything. I don't give a damn how old you are, who made you feel this type of way, what degree you got, how many people you went, how many sororities you fuck with, how many basketball games. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. That shit is the dumbest shit in the world because it's on the surface. Everything that's put on top of what Divine gave us is what's impeding your reality to how you're supposed to be conducive or progress in your own fortuitiveness. You can't do that because you're measuring yourself by what's on the surface of everything. If Divine says tomorrow and wipe all this shit off, who the fuck are you then? A person who cries about the calamity that just took place because Divine removed it all? That's what most of you will be. Distraught, crying like, oh my God, I don't know why this happened. Yes, the fuck you do, because y'all was running the earth into the ground and the people with it. See, these conscious realities are not based off, Divine told you were imperfect in the flesh. So I'm supposed to stand there and let you be like that? I'm supposed to stand there and just take it? That's weakness. That's weakness in every single shape and form. I will never let nothing walk up and down my damn back. I'll smile in your face. I'll be nice with you and all that shit. But you're not going to play me, yo. You're not going to play me. No way, shape, or form. I don't care who you is or what you think about nothing. You're not going to play me. And you shouldn't be walking around wanting to disrespect somebody. Like, you got to think about that shit for a minute. Like, a person who seeks out the negative aspect just to make it a point of value to point it out, that's their integrity. That's what's inside of them. You don't reach for something outside of you that's not within you. That's why the clothing line is coming out as be right within. Be right within, because you got to be right inside to actually reach for right outside. You have to know inside what you're reaching for out. You can't be fucked up on the inside and claim you're doing good on the outside. It don't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. You're going to end up being exactly what you are. A liar can lie, but you will expect them to lie again, even to the people that they use to help you. They will lie to you because that's who they are at their base. A person who manipulates, they may get away with manipulating, but eventually, if you sit long enough, they will manipulate again. You know what I'm saying? People don't, what's the right word? Like, people don't do things and then it hides. Eventually, what they are is gonna show up. It's gonna come out on its own. So you don't ever have to look for it. That's not the thing. We're not looking for negativity or bad things in life. Shit happens. You end up seeing it. Now, when I see you do something bad, there's two ways of viewing that. Was it premeditated? Did you think about it? The way you showed up and moved with those thoughts, did it show me that you were thinking when you made those thoughts? Or was it erratic? Was it out of the blue? Was it a reaction based off how you feel? Which one is innocent and one is premeditated? How the fuck do I argue with on purpose? I can't argue with on purpose. So that's me noticing. That's me noticing that you're premeditated with that. That's me noticing that's what you wanted the whole time. At the end of the day, if I loved you, my happiness is coming from me doing this for you to make you happy, not to have a placement on a value. If I'm doing it out of me, the feeling itself feels good. And when I watch it land, it's the completion of that feeling. It's like, wow, I got it through. I did it. It felt good. It's not, oh, I did this. And wait for the opportunity to act like, yo, I'm better than somebody, or I can hold this over somebody's particular head. No, these motherfuckers is short-lived. They short-lived, and the energy that they dealing with is gonna run from them. You can't own no experience in life. You don't own shit. I don't give a damn if it came to you, whatever. You don't own no experience in life. You experience it, and experiences are fleeting. After you experience it, you let it go. If I get a chance to experience that with you, that was great because we experienced it together. See how togetherness came into play? So when people get married, majority of the time they say, yo, I don't care about shit. I just want to experience life with you. Ups and downs, good and bad. I want to do it all with you. Together. This is how you know people don't be knowing what they be talking about, especially on social media. You go around and you hear people say all this other shit about what's up and down, what's left and right. And the main point to the value is never stressed. It's never an option to sit down and say, wait a minute, let's back away from this for a minute. Let's back away from it. Let's back away from what? Let's back away from what? Let's back away from it for a minute and sit that on the table, because the most important thing is the reason why we together. So we can look at that together. We can look at both our roles in that together. See, that's love, yo. That's how love works. Love don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Love gonna fight. And then once you look in the eyes of what's supposed to be loving and see that shit is not genuine, you know what the fuck you gonna do? Shut it all the way down. Because now you see you tossing your love into a fucking abyss. You're watching yourself do it as you try to explain yourself. And normally, the minds of demonic understanding or evil intention or something that's overtaken, they can't see what you're thinking if you're genuine. They see what their words are affecting you as. They see what their energy is doing to you, which gives them a more powerful feeling of control. I'm watching my words affect you by your facial expressions, by how your face tweaks, the shortness of breath in the words that you use, the agitation and how fast you speak, or if you stutter, or how you move your bodies. I'm seeing that my words I'm saying to you is fucking controlling you. I like it. That's what fuels that evil. That's what fuels that evil. Before you look up, everything that you believed in is shattered. It's shattered. And you're still trying to figure out what the fuck just happened. Unbeknownst to you, you wasn't dealing with what you thought you was believing in. You was dealing with the apparition of a weak person that allowed a negative spirit to come into them. That's why the main point of the situation that brought y'all together wasn't even important. That's why it was so easily overlooked. That's why it was buried deep down inside the individual that's sharing this moment with you into their head. Like, fuck it, I don't care. They you this. You be like, oh, what the fuck is all that? Who the fuck are you? When a person can look at you and be seeing you emotionally disturbed, and they don't feel no way about that, but that person's supposed to love you. Love is not a situation that we get with somebody and we find or wait for an opportunity to fight to make sure you stay in line like you going to the lunchroom. That's not how this works. Love is something that you give to a person. Listen carefully. Love is what you give to a person every time your connection with them on that side where they are starts to feel lighter. Like, yo, why they feel lighter? Why they feel distant? Why they feel like I need to go fill that space up? I need to go check on it. I need to embrace it because that's where I'm placing my love. So I need to make sure that love is equal. It's an energy frequency that we feel. When you are truly in love with somebody, it's a feeling that connects you to like a horizontal line. And once that line starts to bend like this, you literally feel your partner off tilt. Like, damn, yo, something ain't right. Your whole day will be off. Your whole shit is off. Your whole day is off. You sitting there like, damn, I don't know, right? So that's what you were supposed to do. When you felt that, you weren't supposed to take that energy and run into the world and then, oh yeah, last week was like this. Oh yeah, man. Oh, they tripping over there. You weren't supposed to digress into all that shit. Your mind already has a world that you're dealing with. So when you go off and you pull other shit into your world, now you're adding to that same, it's because you don't know how to compartmentalize energy. Nobody never taught you that. Nobody never said, yo, this how you compartmentalize energy. Nobody never said that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody never said, put it in this space, do it like this, because that's important for them. It's almost like if you think about it and say, damn, this is the medicine for my wife. This is the medicine for my children. This is the medicine for my baby. You can't mix those things up because they serve purposes for different people. That's how your love should be. What the fuck you deal with and what you love every day. Like if that's your peoples, that's who you fuck with, your love should be like that. Like, nah, this is in a compartment just for her. This is in a compartment for them because they got to respect what I'm dealing with so I can maintain this with her. And vice versa. She's supposed to be like, this is in a compartment for him. Nobody else can have access to what I do for this situation because that's my love. If you don't hold it on a value, what do you stand on? If y'all don't hold it on some type of value and look at the love as, you know what? This is precious and private for this circumstance because this is what I'm choosing to do. How do you ever grow past any shortcomings? So it's almost like you're agreeing to fail your relationship before you even get it started because you haven't done that. If I got a diamond, I'm going to put it somewhere safe. If you got some gold, you're going to put it somewhere safe. You got some money, you're going to put it in a bank. You got a house, you're going to insure it. If you owe, you're going to get insurance. So why you can't put insurance on what you love? Where's the mental breakdown in that? Why is it like, damn, yo, I should have handled that like this? Even in this fragileness. That's why I be so ready. I be so willing to let shit go. Cause I be like, yo, divine got me at the end of the day. I can't trust people. People gonna be who they gonna be all the time. People gonna let you down. But you know when something's for you, that man for you, that woman for you, you ain't gonna be able to separate from them. You ain't gonna have to. You ain't gonna have to. They gonna be trying to tell you how it's gonna be, how it's gonna work out. What's the next plan? They're gonna be like, nah, this is what we about to do. That's what love is. Love is safety. It's security. It takes you to the next level in every single essence. If you are attaching to situations, and I just had this thought. I wanted to speak on this yesterday. Our energy sometimes brings good things to people. Sometimes people know that their energy doesn't multiply to bring anything good, like just naturally. So sometimes your energy will make things happen around people. Like literally, do you ever think they'll sit down and say, I noticed that because I couldn't do that shit? They will never equate it to divine giving you that access to be that energy of change in their life. And they don't even equate it to value. They equate it to being selfish. That's the compartment they put it in. Oh, your life didn't change because of you because you couldn't do that shit. But your life changed because divine placed something in your life. So then it changed. So where's the value? Does that value become crumbs? Does that value become something insignificant? Because your ass could have been left where you was. How fast do we take divine for granted? Because when you cry and everything, and when you crying and you need love and all this shit, everything is, the world is over. You ain't thinking about nothing because that's how hurt you are. Right? That's how hurt you are. But when divine fix it, man, that shit was a scratch on the leg. I ain't got to look at that no more. Now you selfish. You a selfish motherfucker. That's why you was in that situation in the first place. And see, divine keep giving you an opportunity to see if you going to stand up for once and do right. Nah, motherfuckers hold on to the world tighter. They put the world in a headlock, wrap the legs around. I'm holding on to the world. Divine, like I'm blowing that shit up with your dumb ass. Yeah, big facts. You watch it every day, yo. Every day. I just had a real good friend of mine, like best friend. Like as far as I'm concerned, he was a good friend of mine. I never classified him other than, but I asked him one question. He lost his mind, like something was bothering him. I stopped the conversation. Was like, yo, you can't talk to me like that. I'm like, yo, why? That's all I kept saying is, why you talking to me like that? Yo, why you talking to me like that? Oh, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna do that. Nah, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna keep those, and you're not gonna come around me with that energy, because ain't no man gonna talk to me like that. I didn't refer to him as friend, bro, or none of that. I said, no man, you will not, because no man will speak to me that way. I respect myself first and foremost. And I'm going to take care of me first and foremost. My mental health, my nervous system, and everything else. I'm going to do that first and foremost. You heard? Ain't nobody going to stop that from me. That's your first job in life, is self-preservation. If you can't preserve how divine sent you here, what you doing? And everybody got something to say based off other values. I don't deal with idiocy at no level. If you're going to talk stupid, you could talk stupid by yourself. I'm not going to have a conversation with dumb. You got to be able to think, to have a conversation with me. At least have some logic. And if you don't got that, I'll be like, yeah, I start smiling at your ass like you right, and then slide. I'm so serious. I'll like, yeah, yup. Yeah, that's what's up. All right, word. And I'm out of there, because I'm not about to sit and talk to you stupid. You can't think for yourself. Why waste the energy? I got to waste my energy now? I got to waste my energy on you afraid to make decisions based off what's best for you. That shit is dumb. You got somebody that you love, but your friend made you feel stupid about what you chose to love, so now you're going to disrespect what you chose to love because your friend said something. How idiotic is that? That's the dumbest thing in the freaking planet. And y'all be like, no, you just mad because she called you out. Listen to what you're saying. You'll say you just mad because my friend called you out. How the fuck you let your friend talk to what you love like that? See, y'all be too free with y'all privacy. What you supposed to protect, you don't. You let shit walk all up and down your house. Oh, that's my girl. I knew her my whole life. She could say whatever she want to say. She could do whatever she want to do. Oh, this my homeboy. Da-da-da-da. It ain't that serious. You taking it serious. No, nigga. It's lines where friends and close friends stay at. And when you start getting things personal, that personal takes that whole place. I'm not sleeping with my best friend. I'm not fucking her or fucking him. And my kids is second important to the one I use to create those children. This is what I mean by compartmentalizing and putting your priorities in the right place. If you don't know how to put what's the most important thing in its place, you're not going to have it. You're going to lose it. And it's going to hurt when you lose it. It's going to hurt really, really bad. You also have to be willing to comprehend where you stand in all this shit. If you don't know where you stand, you need to go figure that shit out and really sit down and be like, nah, yo, I'm important as shit. Why am I letting this happen because of this or because of that? Why am I subjecting myself to this because of this or because of that? I said this when I was a kid. I used to want that because family that was most important to me died. And I didn't have that love around me. It was like, damn, I ain't gonna never feel that again. As a kid, that's a hard pill to swallow. Like you thinking that, one day you'll get that warm hug. You know what it feels like to hug somebody? Ain't nothing behind that shit. Like you want to hug so bad, like a real hug, yo. And you hug somebody, and that shit feel empty and hollow. You be like, so you just take it. It's like, it's so many senses that you can pick up on, right? It's so many senses you can pick up on. And a lot of people don't even know. They don't even know. They just be doing shit. They do shit and think because they did it, it fills the void. No, when you did it, it was empty. When you did it, it was hollow. When you did it, it had no meaning. I felt it every time you did something. So it's hard for me to accept that shit. I'd be like, yeah, all right. It's like eating bland food. Oh, you already know the vibes. You're NAGA The Wise, man. Look, one-on-one consultations, man. Connect with me. I got some new juice, and I'm holding it back. I'm not about to just put it on. I'm not about to put it up here. And everybody ain't going to get it. You got to be able to tap in because the levels is about to go up. Shit changing in the background. You heard? So you already know the vibes. Levels is going up. Prices going up. Everything changing. You know what I'm saying? Got new shit be here shortly. Real shortly. Everything is moving. Whether social media rock with me or not, you know how many people know already what I've been doing? I'm trying to put y'all on. I could disappear from social media and still be doing the same thing, out of sight, out of mind. It ain't gonna change. I'm trying to give you an opportunity to get a piece of what Divine gave me, you heard? I ain't gonna hold you, just trying to show you something. NAGA the Wise.